So, Module 1, Ethics and Ethical Behavior. So at the end of this presentation, student would be able to differentiate ethics, morals, and laws, discuss the nature of ethics, define medical ethics and health ethics, discuss a short history of medical ethics, then define professional ethics, and different school of thoughts of ethics. Okay. So what is ethics? Ano ba ang ethics? So in your senior high, have you encountered ethics? Mayroon ba kayong subject na ethics? Wala. O meron. Nung first year kayo, meron? Meron ba? So what is ethics? Ano natutunan nyo kay Sir Aaron? Is ethics about right and wrong? Good or bad? Can anyone define ethics?
Sir,
Yes.
ano po, ang nagets ko po dun sa classes namin sa ethics is, ethics po is yung parang morality po of a person or yung moral principles po ng isang tao.
Ethics, morality is connected to morality. So, sige. Okay, thank you. We will look into that on the following slides. Hey, anybody else? Anyone else? Okay, so, ako, ethics. Ang daming nakalagay doon sa image pa lang natin sa picture. Ba, integrity, moral, principle, honesty. Pero ano ba talaga ang ethics? So, ethics is also called moral philosophy. So, it involves systematizing, defending, and recommending concepts of right and wrong behavior. So, ethics is also called the science of human duty. Bakit siya tinawag na science of human duty? Pero in a more technical sense, ethics is not a science. Okay? Hindi siya science. Pero tinatawag siyang science of human duty. Bakit kaya? And technically, ethics is the study of right and wrong and how to tell the difference between the two. So yun, hindi lang siya yung pag-determine o pag-aaral kung ano ba yung tama, alin ba yung mali, kung hindi yung paano natin i-differentiate or ma-distinguish kung alin ba yung tama, alin ba yung mali. That is what ethics is. Okay? So, the word ethics came from the Greek word etika. Okay? Etika or etike. Pero, yung pinaka-root word niya ay ethos. So, kapag tinanong kayo kung ano yung pinanggalingan ng salitang ethics, yun yung ang mismo isasagot nyo is ethos. So, ethos, according to the Greek, okay, ay may definition na it means that it is a person's interior dwelling place. Interior dwelling place. Yun yung concept ng ancient Greek regarding what ethics is. So according to Socrates, okay, one of the founding fathers of virtue ethics, Okay? So, dahil sa uh, kanilang concept that ethics ay may kinalaman sa interior dwelling place, okay? So, ito daw yung kinakailangan na ang ethos or yung ating interior dwelling place ay kailangan mahugis sa tamang paraan para ang isang tao ay mag-succeed sa buhay, sa life. Okay, magkaroon ng success in life. And this dimension of ethics is called arete. Okay? So yun yung concept ng ancient Greeks regarding what ethics is or ano yung nature ng ethics for the ancient Greeks. So syempre, after the ancient Greeks, ano ba yung civilization or Western civilization na naging prosperous? So yun ay ang ancient Romans or Roman Empire. Okay? So according naman sa ancient Romans, they translated ethos or the root word for ethics sa ethos as mos or moris. Okay. And this became the root word or ito yung pinanggalingan ng salitang morality or morals. Okay. So mos or moris or morality, okay, nagkaling siya sa Latin word na may meaning na manners, customs, or practices of a land or a people. Okay? So, kung makikita natin, malaki na agad yung difference ng ano ba yung ethics for the ancient Greeks and from the ancient Romans. From the para sa mga ancient Greeks, ito may kinalaman sa individual, sa personal, di ba? Interior dwelling place. Sa kanilang sarili. While for the ancient Romans, ito ay may kinalaman sa manners, customs, and practices of the people or their group of people. Okay? So bakit ganon? Kasi kung mapapansin natin that karamihan sa mga ancient Greeks ay mga philosophers. And philosophy is somewhat around that is beyond practicality. While the Romans, okay, ancient Romans are usually practical minded people. Okay? So, the Romans use ethics to focus on principles or guidelines for living. Kaya nga dito, lumabas yung dimension ng ethics na tinatawag na deontic or deontology. Okay? So, magandang example dito yung writings of Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius. So, deontology. Okay. From being a personal pursuit of success, naging siyang principle and guidelines for living na may kinalaman sa rules for action. Kaya nga deontology. Okay? So, ano ba ang binanggit natin kung ano yung ethics kanina. Now, ethics is not feelings. Okay? Hindi nakasalalay ang ethics sa kung ano ang nararamdaman ng isang tao. Okay? Hindi rin siya religion. Ethics, kung ano ang tama at mali sa ethics, okay, or alam kung ano yung ethical truth, okay, hindi lang siya ethical truth para sa isang religion. Siya ay ethical truth for all. For all people. Okay? May religion man o wala. Okay? Ethics is not simply following the law. Hindi porke sumunod ka sa batas, it is ethical na. Okay? Some laws are not ethical. Okay? Then, of course, ethics is not the same as following culturally accepted norms. Okay? Hindi porke may ginagawang tradition sa isang specific na place or isang specific group of people, that tradition is counted as ethical. Example is sa mga strictly Muslim countries, okay? Strictly Muslim countries, they allow marriage of children to adults, di ba? So in the other parts of the world, hindi siya katanggap-tanggap. Kasi pag tinignan natin sa when we use ethics, it is unethical. Pero sa kanila, it is accepted. It is a culturally accepted norm. It is tradition. It is considered right para sa kanila. But if we examine it under ethical principles, so hindi siya tama, di ba? So ethics is definitely not the same as following what we are used to do, like traditions. So hindi lahat ng traditions ay ethical. Okay? And lastly, ethics is not science. While it is preferred for us professionals to be guided by science in different scenarios, but also in our practice, since we deal with people, we should also use ethics as a tool in resolving certain dilemmas in our workplace. Hindi lang science ang ginagamit natin to resolve problems in our workplace, but also ethics. Okay? So mayroon po bang question so far? Okay, so let us proceed. Okay, so ano yung pagkakaiba ng morals, ethics, and laws? Okay, when we say morals, it is a personal sense of right and wrong. Okay, when we say ethics, okay, it is either professional or social sense of right and wrong. Okay, and laws, when wrong actions are punished by society and correct actions are treated as beneficial to one's society. Okay? So yan yung differences when it comes to right and wrong ng morals, ethics, and laws. Okay? So bakit? Kasi we define laws as rule of civil conduct prescribed by supreme power of the state, okay, prescribing what is right and prohibiting what is wrong. Yun yung definition ng laws. Okay? So kaya nga kapag wrong actions, or ito kasi yung morals, ito yung ano yung palagay natin, yung paniniwala natin na right and wrong. That is morality. Okay? Morality is something that is based on our personal personal sense of what is right and wrong. Pero pag ethics, it is universal. Kaya nga social sense of right and wrong. Okay? Okay. Now we go to medical ethics. So medical ethics is a branch of ethics, okay, that deals with the moral principles and its applications to the practice of medicine. So it encompasses the practical application in clinical setting as well as in work on its history, philosophy, theology, and sociology. So moral principles that applies to the practice of medicine is called medical ethics. So yun yung pinaka-simple definition na. Lahat ng ina-apply natin na ethical principles when it comes to the practice of medicine is medical ethics. Okay? Then we move to professional ethics. So professional ethics is a branch of ethics concerned with the moral issues that arises because of the specialist's knowledge, okay, that professional attains, and how the use of this knowledge should be governed when providing service to the public. So each of the professions, the different professions, have their own professional ethics. Okay? Merong kanya-kanyang professional code of ethics or code of professional ethics ang bawat profession. Okay? Though merong general na pagkakapare-parehas ang yung code of professional ethics ng bawat profession, nonetheless, their application is different. Siyempre, kung yung mga lahat ng mga may kinalaman sa field ng healthcare, yan, almost all ay pare-parehas ang kanilang code of ethics. Okay? At dahil dyan, I want you to, as your first assignment, okay, to look for the Code of Professional Ethics for Radiologic Technologies, yung revised, okay, revised Code of Professional Ethics for Radiologic Technologies. So doon, yun ay naglalaman ng 4 na sections. Before ay 5 sections ang Code of Professional Ethics ng RadTech. So ni-revise na siya, ginawa na lang siyang 4. Okay? So you have to read the Code of Ethics for RadTech. Philippines hindi US. Yung sa US, mahaba yun. Okay? So we will be having a recitation next meeting regarding the Code of Professional Ethics for RadTech. Okay. So basically, professional ethics is the ethical conduct of a profession. Okay? So yan yung simple definition natin. Okay? When you read the first definition, it all boils to simply ethical conduct of a profession. Ethical conduct of a RadTech, ethical conduct of an accountant, ethical conduct of a physician. So lahat yan ay professional ethics. Okay? So, okay? So naintindihan po ba yung difference ng professional ethics sa medical ethics and sa general ethics? Okay? So, yeah. Okay? Now we go to the short history of medical ethics. Of course, nag-umpisa yung history ng medical ethics kay Hippocrates, okay? Sa pamamagitan ng Hippocratic Oath, na hanggang ngayon ito ay patuloy na ginagamit ng mga physician, okay, in their practice. Ito yung ginagamit nila na oath of practice kay Hippocratic Oath. Okay. Hippocrates is considered the father of medicine, tama ba? Okay, then after Hippocrates, okay, isinulat yung Conduct of a Physician ni Ishaq bin Ali Rahawi. Okay, ito ay naglalaman na kung ano ba yung mga dapat ginagawa ng isang doktor, ng isang physician during that time. Okay? And si Thomas Percival naman ay sa kanyang medical jurisprudence na sinulat, okay, ay siya yung unang gumamit ng term na medical ethics. So that is Thomas Percival. Okay. Ang pinaka-importante sa medical ethics or health ethics is yung tinatawag natin the Nuremberg Trial. Okay. So ano ba yung Nuremberg Trial? After the World War II, okay, nagkaroon ng mga paglilitis ng mga trials regarding the offenses of the Nazi Germans or the Nazi Germany. Okay. At isa doon yung tinatawag na Nuremberg Doctors Trial. Okay. During the World War II, maraming ginawa experiments ang mga Nazi. Okay. Marami silang ginawa experiment at ito ay ginawa nila sa mga tao. Okay. Hindi sa mga animals, kung hindi sa mga prisoners, sa mga concentration camp prisoners. Okay? Kung kayo ay familiar doon sa film na The Schindler's List, so malamang hindi kayo familiar kasi bata pa ako nung pinalabas yun. So, the film is Schindler's List. Ito ay tungkol sa isang listahan ng mga concentration camp prisoners. Okay? Karamihan or almost all do sa mga prisoners ay mga Jews, mga Hudyo. Okay? Sila ay tinuturukan ng mga chemicals, or kung hindi man sila tinuturukan, sila yung ginagamit na lab trials for yung mga gases, toxic gases na pwedeng gamitin for war. Okay? So yun. Yung mga concentration camps, ayan ay marami siya throughout Europe. At isa sa pinakakilalang concentration camp, yung tinatawag na Auschwitz. Okay. So doon, halos wala nang natirang survivors. Meron siguro mga bilang lang sa dalawang kamay ang survivors. Okay. And during the Nuremberg trial, ang naging bunga noong Nuremberg trial is nagkaroon na ng ethical considerations when it comes to researches, medical or other researches na may kinalaman sa technology sa paggamit ng mga ng tao, hindi lang tao, pati sa animal. So yan din yung naging pinaka-foundation ng mga ethical considerations na or sinasagawa natin pag tayo ay nagkakandak ng research. Okay? So, according doon sa trial, merong 23 physicians. Okay? So, bukod, syempre, during the trial, kung hindi ka namatay, maghihintay ka na lang na mamatay. At yung iba, okay, sinasubject sila under euthanasia. Ano ba yung euthanasia? Euthanasia yung sasagawa ng tinatawag na mercy killing. Okay? Pero yung iba, hindi nila sinasubject sa euthanasia. Pinapabayaan nila maghirap hanggang sa mamatay. Okay? So the trial lasted for 140 days. So maraming witness ang tinawag, maraming documents yung tiningnan. And out of the 23 physicians, okay, 16 yung mga doctors na guilty at 7 yung in-execute. Ano ba yung mga ginagawa experiment sa mga prisoner? So ito yung mga example ng mga naging experiment na ginagawa ng mga Nazi noong World War II. Ito ay mga pictures na lang na present sa trials. So most probably yung mga nasa picture yung may stripes, most probably yan ay patay na. Okay? So yan. Mga yun. Naalala ko na yung kung anong tawag doon sa toxic gases na ina-experiment nila. It's called nerve gas. Okay? So yung mga nerve gases na ina-experiment ng Nazi, yan, sa mga prisoner, concentration camp prisoner nila, ina-experiment kung gaano ka-effective. Or ano yung mga effects sa human body. Okay. So after the trial, lumabas ngayon yung Nuremberg Code of 1947. So according to the Nuremberg Code, kailangan kapag magkakanda ka ng experiment or research, kailangan may voluntary consent. Okay. Kailangan din na benefits, merong anticipated scientific benefits, and that benefits outweighs the risk. Dapat mas mabigat ang benefits na makukuha compare sa risk na pwedeng mangyari. Okay? At kailangan sa animal muna gagawin yung experiment bago gawin sa tao. Diba? Kaya nga yung mga sa panahon na yun, hanggang sa panahon na yun, mga gamot, mga vaccines, lahat ay saan mo na ginagawa? Sa animal muna ginagawa before introducing or before involving humans to the experiment or to the trial. Kailangan iwasan yung suffering. Kailangan din walang intentional death or disability. Kung meron mang mangyaring death or disability, ito ay non-intentional. Hindi sinasadya. Okay? And of course, kailangan may protection from harm. Okay, ibig sabihin kapag may nangyaring injury, so automatic tigil agad yung trial. And then subject is free to stop or to withdraw. Okay, merong karapatan ang participant sa research na mag-withdraw anytime na gusto niya. Okay, and of course, kailangan qualified yung researcher or yung investigator. Okay, may sapat na credentials. Okay, and the investigators will stop if harm occurs. Yun nga, sinabi natin. So ito yung Nuremberg trial. Ito yung Nuremberg Code na product ng trial. At malaki yung ambag nito sa medical ethics. Hindi lang sa medical ethics, ganon din sa mga researches na ginagawa natin. Kahit documentary researches lang ay may epekto yung Nuremberg Code. Okay? So may question po ba? Okay? So, yun. Huwag kayong mag-alala, pare-pares tayo hindi pa pinapanganak noong World War II. Bata pa po ako. Magkakasing age lang tayo, di tayo nagkakalayo. Okay, so we move to the core ethical values. Okay, pag sinabing core, ito yung pinaka-heart ng ethics. Okay? So integrity. So what is integrity? Integrity means exercising good judgment in professional practice and adherence to ethical principles. Integrity hindi lang to honesty. It is something that is more deeper or has a more profound and deeper meaning than honesty. Integrity means being fair, being just. Okay? Then, second core ethical value is honesty. Okay? Honesty includes truthfulness, fairness, sincerity. So, hindi lang siya basta honesty. Okay? So, nandyan yung truthfulness, fairness, and sincerity. Kaya hindi natin pwedeng sabihin that honesty is such a lonely word. Okay. Then number 3 is fidelity. Okay. So fidelity is a word that is much profound than faithfulness. Kasi syempre, yung faithfulness is isa sa mga under ng fidelity. Faithfulness to whom? To the clients or to the patients. Okay, allegiance to the public trust that is given to us healthcare professionals. Okay, so loyalty to the employer or firm or agency. Okay, so kailangan ba talaga that an employee is loyal to the employer or to the firm? Kailangan ba yon? Kailangan ba yon? Kahit na, let's say, ang hazard pay mo lang ay 150 per month, okay lang, loyal ka pa rin sa employer mo. 150 per month hazard pay So sa kinsena, 75 pesos ang hazard pay mo. Okay lang? Tapos ang iyong meal allowance, 15 pesos per day. Okay lang ba yon? Martir! Tinatanong mo nga kayo kung okay lang eh. Okay lang na may loyalty sa employer or sa company. Kahit ganon, okay lang. Alam nyo ba yung loyalty pledge? Alam niyo yung loyalty pledge? Mga nag-CAT ba kayo? Nako, lumalabas talaga yung age natin, di nagkakalayo. Hindi rin ako nag-CAT eh. So, loyalty pledge. So, yun. Sinasabi doon that you should not condemn your institution, okay, habang nasa loob ka ng institution. Kung gusto mong magsalita ng hindi maganda doon sa institution na yon, so you must first resign from the institution before you say anything against your company. Okay. So, bakit? Kasi yun ay part ng pagiging uh, ethical or ethical part yun ng ethical principle. Okay? So kahit na 15 pesos lang ang meal allowance. Paano mabibili no? Kanin lang yun. Kulang pa, di ba yung iba 20 pesos ang kanin eh. Oh, saan ka pa? Libre sabaw na lang. Okay, so kahit na gano'n ang palakad ng company, so you must have loyalty pa rin sa iyong company. And of course, loyalty to the profession. Siyempre, sumumpa ka during the oath-taking. Di ba? Nag-oath-taking ka nga eh. Kaya kailangan meron ka loyalty sa profession mo. Yung bang tipong, halimbawa sa ospital, pinatawag kayo, tapos sinabihan kayo, oh, meron tayong bagong ultrasound tech. Pero yung ultrasound tech, hindi rad tech. Nurse pala. So papayag ba kayo as rad tech? Siyempre, hindi ako papayag. Kailangan ng ultrasound tech, rad tech, hindi pwedeng nurse. Diba? Latagan natin ang batas yan. Sasabihin nyo, Doc, according to RA 7431, RadTech lang po ang pwedeng maging ultrasound tech. Yan po ay illegal practice. Yung mga ganyan. Kaya loyal tayo sa profession natin. And lastly, for the theist, faithfulness to God. Meron bang atheist sa inyo? Kasi for the theist, di ba? Theist. Pag sinabing theist, a person who believes in God. The atheist, a person who do not believe in God. Okay? Then, number 4, charity. Yan, hindi lang yan charity yan. So, it includes kindness, caring, goodwill, tolerance, compassion, and mercy, and adherence to the golden rule. So, charity. Yung mga galing yung mga Korean dyan, di ba? Alam na alam niyo yung charity. Di ba? Kaya nga yung mga Madre doon, daughters of charity. Mga anak ni Aling Charing. Okay, so, yan yung number 4 sa ating core ethical values. Then number 5, responsibility. So, of course, part yan ng core ethical value responsibility. Dahil sa tayo ay professionals, meron tayong responsibility na sinumpang gawin. Okay, so responsibility includes reliability or dependability, accountability, and trustworthiness. So, magkaiba po yung responsibility sa accountability. So, yung responsibility, ito yung mga ina-expect sa atin na gawin. Okay? Then, accountability naman, it is the act of being responsible. Nakuha niyo ba? Responsibility, ito yung listahan ng mga dapat natin gawin. Okay, or ito yung job description natin. So, ito yung ina-expect sa atin na ginagawa natin during our duty. Okay. So, halimbawa, magwa-warm up ng machine sa umaga. Okay? RadTech ang magsusulat sa logbook, magdi-dispense ng result ng film, okay, magde-develop, blah, 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 magkakandak ng QA/QC sa mga images, okay, pag walang pasyente matutulog, tapos magme-merienda, so mga ganyan. So, kung nakalagay sa job description, pero kung wala sa job description nyo yung matulog pag walang pasyente, huwag nyo gagawin. Kaya tayo sinisilip ng mga nurses eh. Mga RadTech daw walang ginagawa, tulog daw ng tulog. So hindi nila alam, gumigising naman tayo pag may pasyente. So anong gusto nung gawin ng mga nurses? Mambugbog kami sa labas para magkaroon ng pasyente. Diba? Siyempre hindi. Unethical yun. Okay? Then number 6, self-discipline. So, yan. Self-discipline includes acting with reasonable restraint. Yun na nga, katulad sinabi ko, hindi ka pwede mambugbog para lang magkapasyente, para lang may gawin ka, di ba? Mag-aantay lang tayo kung may darating na pasyente. Kung wala, edi syempre nakaupo lang tayo. Minsan di naman natin maiwasang mapapikit. Tapos dadaan yung nurse, akala natutulog tayo. Napapikit lang. Grabe naman si ma'am nurse. No. Then, not indulging in excessive behavior. No. Diba? O halimbawa, night duty ka. Mag-start ka ng duty alas 10. Walang pasyente alas 10. Alas 11 walang pasyente. Alas 12 walang pasyente. Nagka-pasyente alas 6 na. So anong gagawin mo? Wala namang gising ka nang wala nang gano'n. Pwede namang matulog, wala namang pasyente. Diba? Huwag ka lang papahuli sa nurse. Pag tumunog yung telepono, sagutin mo. Gumising ka. Yun. Kaya may mga pinagbabawal na technique para hindi mahuli ng mga nurses. Okay. So, ayun. How about values in medical ethics? Ngayon, kayo naman, it's your turn. Ano ba yung palagay ninyo ng mga values na kinakailangan na ma-practice sa medical ethics? Ano ba yung mga importanteng values? Hindi na to core values ha, values in general. Sa palagay ninyo, ano ba yung mga importanteng values? Ang dami dyan. Ayan o, yung isa nga nakita ko dyan nakaupo o. So ano, ang values? Example ng values sa medical ethics, yung pagiging on time pumasok. Anong tawag doon? Value ba yon? Siyempre value yon. Kung lagi kang late pumasok, kawawa naman yung duty before you. Diba? Or kung hindi ka papasok, anong mangyayari do sa na duty before you? Siyempre, hindi siya pwede umalis ng hospital nang walang kapalit. Diba? Yung punctuality, that is very important. So ano pa? So nandyan din yung, sabi ko kayo yung sasagot ba't ako nasagot? Nandyan din yung halimbawa, mayroong artistang pasyente. So anong dapat nyong gawin? Siyempre dapat magpa-picture kayo sa autograph sa uniform, di ba? Hindi yun. Anong dapat gawin? Be professional, accommodation in accordance sa emergency. Paano mo being a professional, paano yung pagiging professional? Pasimple lang na picture, ganun. Yung hindi halata. Paano yung accommodation? Halimbawa, sino bang gusto mong artista? Earl, sino artista ang gusto mo na pasyente? Sige na, minsan lang to. Magbigay ka ng pangalan. Ayan, naunahan ka tuloy ni Catherine. So ano daw, si Gerald Anderson daw. Naku, sino ba syota ni Gerald? Baka masampal ka nun. Ayun. Oh, kung si Gerald Anderson, naku, paano ba? Paano ba sasabihin mo? Sir, ito po, hubad ka po dito. Ay, hubad. Hindi po, ito po pala yung yung gown, magpalit po kayo doon sa dressing room. Ganon. So, ganon ba accommodating o sasabihin mo, higa ka po dito agad. Ba't may agad? So, paano accommodation? Gaganti lang si Bea Alonso. Kukuruting sa singit, ganon. Pag naka-patient gown na. Susunugin. Ayan tayo eh. Kung ano-ano nakukuha nyo sa mga memes ha. Susunugin. Hindi yung totoo, huwag kayong maniwala doon sa mga memes na ganyan. Yung susunugin, hindi yung totoo. Walang radtech na gumagawa noon, sabi-sabi lang yun. Ay, meron palang radtech na gumagawa noon. Yung pagsablay sa factoring, yun, pero aksidente yun, hindi sinasadya. Pero yung sinasadya, walang nananadyang manunog ng image. Kasi yun ay unethical. Grabe kayo. Susunugin ha. Ayun. So itatama natin yan ngayon. Wala pong sunugin si X. So sino naman si X? X Nino. Kayo talaga ha. Ang dami nyo namang X. Ako nga walang X eh. Puro Y. Okay. So dahil dyan, magkakaroon tayo ng isang activity. Okay? So ilan ba kayo ngayon? 20, 23? Sige, group yourselves into 3. Okay. So ito yung ating scenario. Okay. So, sa kaalaman ninyo sa ethics, lahat ng kaalaman nyo sa ethics ha, i-apply nyo dito sa situation na to. Okay. So, suppose a trolley is running out of control down a track. Ano ba yung trolley? Okay. Sa ibang bansa, yung trolley, pag sinabi mong trolley, it is pertaining to a train. Okay, train yan ha. Trolley, hindi yung trolley na pambata. Train yan. Okay? So, in its path are 5 people who have been tied to the track. May 5 tao nakatali sa track. Fortunately, you can flip a switch which will lead the trolley down a different track to safety. Pero, pag ginawa mo yon, merong isang tao na nakatali din sa track ang madadaanan. Ang tanong, should you flip the switch or not? Gamitin nyo na lahat ng kaalaman nyo ha. Morality, ethics, law, bahala kayo. So I will give you, say, 15 minutes to discuss it with your group mates. And then after 15 minutes, tingnan natin yung mga sagot nyo. Okay? So 15 minutes starts now. It's 11:06. So 11:21. Ang tapos na inyong discussion, group discussion. So, bahala na kayo pumili ng inyong ka-groupings. Group of 3. Pag may sobra, pwedeng 4 ang nasa grupo or pwedeng 2 lang. Okay? So, okay? Have the liberty to choose your own and discuss your answers. Oh, oh. Giovanni, pahingi ng tubig. Giovanni, 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 Giovanni. Hingi akong water. Nasaan ba tiyo mo? Saan? Nasaan si mama mo? Okay, so ang sagot nyo? Diniscuss nyo ba yung mga sagot nyo sa inyong group? So let us hear your answers. So let's hear Miss Benegas.
Okay.
Anong
So, ang answer ko po ay ano po, yung alita po, switch ko po yung trolley po, dun sa 1% po na mamamatay.
why?
Kasi po sinasabi na yung sa ethics po, mas tamang gawin siguro po yung piliin mo mabuhay yung 5 tao kaysa po dun sa isang tao po na matitib po.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so how about the others? Miss Shigihara.
Isuswitch ko po yung switch.
So, flip your switch.
Kasi po, based po dun sa dati pinag-aralan, yung utilitarian ethics po. Meaning po ay actions are right if they are useful or mas beneficial siya sa nakararami. So, doon po sa situation, i-flip ko po yung switch kasi po para masave yung maraming tao kaysa po dun sa isa.
Utilitarianism, the greatest good for the greatest number. Okay. Okay, how about the others? Meron bang ang sagot ay hindi i-flip-flip? Or lahat kayo ay parehas ng sagot? Can I hear if there is one of you who answered that they will not flip the switch? So, kung wala, di talagang pare-pares kayo ng sagot. Okay, very good. Ngayon, kung pare-pares kayo ng sagot dyan, puntahan natin yung kabilang senaryo. Okay. Situation 2, a physician has 5 patients, each in a different, each need a different organ and will die without that organ. Unfortunately, there are no organs available to perform any of these 5 transplant operations. A young man who just got hit by a trolley is brought into the ER. In the course of assessing his injuries, which are not life-threatening if treated immediately, the doctor discovers that his organs are compatible with all the 5 of his dying patients. Would it be justified for the physician to let the patient die to harvest his organs to save the other 5 patients? Okay. So, siguro I will give you 5 minutes lang to think about it. Hindi na muna mag-groupings. Sige. And after 5 minutes, I'll ask some of you to give an answer. So, doon sa kanina, may 5 tao, may 1 tao, mag-flip ng switch. Ngayon dito, ganoon din, may 5 tao, may 1 tao, si doktor nga lang ang bahala. So what will you do if you are the doctor? Paganahin ang mga brain cells. Okay yan, kaya niya yan. Nasagot niya nga yung isa eh. So, syempre, masasagot niya rin yan. Okay. So, may answer na ba kayo? Okay, so let's hear from Miss Tabernilla.
Ano po?
Yes?
Ano po?
Yes.
Ano po? Since nabangga naman ang portion ng phone, i-sacrifice ko na lang po ulit siya.
So,
Para,
okay.
opo. Since, mas madami masasave kung, mag-sacrifice ka ng isa. Yun.
Okay, so, sige. Okay, so how about Miss Arate? Oh, straight. Si Miss Clavier may sagot. Okay, sabi niya, for me, no. No po, because first po, walang consent dun sa person na na-aksidente or sa relative nung nasa ER. Always ask permission first po for me. Okay, sige. So, 1-1 na. Okay, so, Miss Arate. Are you there? Wala yata si Miss Arate. Eh, oh, may dagdag pa. Saka po walang sinabi sa situation na mamamatay na yung nasa ER. Uy, meron. Meron. Basahin yung mabuti. Diba? Sabi, hindi naman daw malala yung sugat na yung injury ng nabangga ng trolley. If treated immediately. So kung hindi siya i-treat immediately at babayaan, mamamatay yung pasyente, di ba? So, ayun, sige. Mr. Remorosa.
First, utilitarianism won't work in this scenario po. Dapat po, save po nung yung injured because of the accident. Kasi kapag hindi po, it will fall and the physician will be subjected to medical malpractice and negligence of duty.
Pero wala namang makakaalam nun eh. Ang nakakaalam lang nun yung physician, di ba? Bakit? Kasi di ba sabi doon sa situation, upon assessment ng physician, na pwedeng hindi fatal yung injury kung i-treat agad. Yung physician lang nakakaalam nun. So, sino magkakaso sa physician? Doon sa kanina, okay lang sa'yo na mamatay yung isang tao. Dito, ayaw mo. Why? What's the difference? Anong difference ng situation 1 and situation 2?
So the difference is that in this situation po, we are, the physician is in duty. I mean, trabaho niya po yung isave yung pasyente. Sa lahat po ng makakaya niya. And as
Mm.
practitioner din po. Medical practitioner.
Doon sa trolley, kasi 'di ba, ang may access lang naman doon sa switch ng trolley, yung nagtatrabaho lang din doon sa railroad company, 'di ba? So trabaho rin yung mag-switch ng trolley. 'Di ba? Pero doon okay lang na ma-switch, ma-divert yung trolley doon sa isang tao. Okay. So sabi ni Miserate, mas okay na ma-survive ang madami kesa isang tao. So utilitarianism. So talagang tapos sabi ni Misedenyo, conscience na po. So may gusto bang tumulong kay Mr. Romorosa? Na same ng answer? So ibig nyo sabihin, kung hindi doktor yung namomroblema doon, okay lang na i-practice yung utilitarianism. Pero kapag doktor, hindi okay. Di ba? Kasi doon sa kanina, walang kumontra ni isa sa inyo eh. Doon sa situation 1. Lahat kayo for utilitarianism. Sabi nyo, the greatest good for the greatest number. Pero sa situation 2, palibasa yung situation nasa ospital, may involve na healthcare professional. So, hindi pwede ang utilitarianism.
So, iba po kasi yung dilemma. I mean, in this scenario po, kapag assessment of the physician nga po, the patient can be saved upon immediate treatment. So,
Pipili ka pa rin, di ba? Pag pinili mo i-save yung nabangga, yung young man, so you will have to let the 5 people die. Pero doon sa unang situation nyo, no, compared doon sa mga naunang klase ko, wala sa inyong nag-argue na papaano daw kung yung 5 na nakatali sa sa riles ay mga masasamang tao. Okay lang daw na sagasaan yung 5 tao. Compare daw dun sa isang tao na hindi naman kriminal, etc. mga ganyan. Walang nag-argue sa inyo ng ganun kanina. Kakaiba kayo Pare-parehas kayo ng iniisip. Oh, may sagot si Miss Aroho. Always do no harm po ang ethics sa medical field. Kaya dapat po isa-save yung nasa ER. Do no harm, beneficence. Non-maleficence pala. Okay? Sabi ni Ms. De Ramos, Sir, ba't di po muna itanong sa kamag-anak? Ayun, unfortunately, wala po sa situation yung kamag-anak. Okay. Sige, I'll try to explain. Okay. So, situation 1 and situation 2 are almost the same. Almost the same. They are variations of the same ethical dilemma. Variation sila ha. Ngayon, those two problems or situation tells us or tries to teach us that the difficulty of making decisions when we encounter an ethical dilemma. Ba? Lalo na kung sa healthcare. Another example would be, meron kang isang severe na pasyente ng COVID na nangangailangan ng 10 gamot. Pero meron kang 10 moderate patient ng COVID na nangangailangan ng tig-isang gamot. Okay. So, anong gagawin mo? Ibibigay mo ba yung 10 dun sa 10 pasyente o ibibigay mo yung 10 dun sa severe? Pag binigay mo yung 10 doon sa 10 pasyente, mamamatay yung severe. Pag binigay mo sa severe, yung 10 gamot, madadagdagan ng 10 severe yung mga pasyente mo. So, anong gagawin mo? Sa 10 na lang yung gamot mo. Diba? So, yan. Pinakikita lang dyan na everyday in the clinical setting, we will be encountering or you will be encountering in the future different ethical dilemmas. And nakadepende yon sa inyong ethical foundation on how will you make decisions. Kung paano kayo gagawa ng desisyon kapag naka-encounter kayo ng mga situations such as this. Okay. So, after having those two exercises, we will proceed to the next discussion. So, the next discussion is about the different ethical school of thoughts. Okay? School of thoughts, yung tinatawag natin dito school of thoughts, pero yung iba sa inyo tinatawag silang principles, and which is hindi naman mali. Mapa-principle man siya of school of thoughts, pare-parehas lang naman yan. Okay? So we have consequentialism, deontology, and virtue ethics. Okay? So yan yung tatlong broad school of thoughts. Ibig sabihin, meron pa silang under. Okay. So, consequentialism, deontology, and virtue ethics are ways of establishing a value hierarchy in ethical decision. Ibig sabihin, they are tools. Tools sila na pwedeng gamitin natin. Lahat silang tatlo tools na pwede natin gamitin in making decisions when we encounter ethical dilemmas. So ano ba itong tatlong ito? So bawat isa sa kanila may different guidelines. Okay? There is no one school better than the other. So kaya nga sabi ko kanina, lahat silang tatlo pwedeng gamitin sa ethical dilemmas o sa pagdidesisyon sa ethical dilemmas. Okay? First, consequentialism. So, teleology bases decision on the consequences or outcomes of a given act, evaluates the good of an activity by assessing whether immediate harm is balanced with future benefit. Okay, consequentialism advocates providing the greatest good for the greatest number. So, under ng consequentialism yung utilitarianism. Okay? So, yan yung ibig sabihin ng consequentialism. Focuses on the outcomes of an action or a decision that a professional or a healthcare worker makes. Okay, kaya nga, binibigyan din dito yung utilitarianism na the greatest good for the greatest number. Or ano yung majority na makakatulong or kapag majority ang magbe-benefit, so that will be the correct way to do it based on consequentialism. Okay, naintindihan po ba? Consequentialism. Okay, next. Deontology. From the word deontics. Okay, so bases decision making on the individual motives or morals rather than the consequences. Okay, opposite of teleology. Okay, examines the significance of the action themselves. So nakafocus sa actions, okay, hindi sa consequences. So dito sa deontology, bago mong gawin yung particular decision, nakafocus siya sa action. Yung action ba ay tama? Yung action ba ay correct? Yung action ba ay ethical? Okay. Deontologic problem solving uses personal rules of right and wrong derived from individual actions, relationships of all kinds, and society. Yan, papasok dyan yung rules, duty. Kasi when we say deontology, yan, based sa duty. Di ba? Doon sa ancient Romans, duty yan. Rules. Naka-base ang ethics sa rules and duties. Dito naman, okay, naka-focus ang deontology sa actions, hindi sa outcomes. Okay, so kabaliktaran siya ng consequentialism that focuses on the outcomes or the consequences. Okay? So do sa consequentialism, ang unang tanong, ang consequence ba ay mabuti? Tama. Kaya marami bang magbe-benefit sa outcomes? So kapag ang sagot doon ay yes, so si ethical yung gagawin na yan. While deontology ay nakafocus sa action, the action is correct, good, based on following the rules, etc., or duty, so it must be ethical. Okay, that is deontology. Then virtue ethics. Okay, so doon pa lang sa term na virtue ethics, so it focuses on the virtues. Okay, on the values. So it focuses on the use of practical wisdom and moral character for emotional and intellectual problem solving. So meaning it is the combination of both consequentialism and deontology. Okay? To provide a holistic approach sa ethical dilemmas. Okay? So virtue ethics, it combines the deontology and consequentialism to provide a holistic approach in solving ethical dilemmas. Okay? Okay, next we have the ethical models. Okay, so these ethical models are also tools kasama ng tatlong school of thoughts. that a healthcare professional can use, okay, in solving or in making decisions when encountering ethical dilemmas in the clinical practice. Okay. So we have engineering model, paternal or priestly model, collegial model, contractual model, covenant and covenantal model. So yung iba dito na encounter nyo na siguro, yun nga lang iba yung tawag. Okay? So engineering model identifies the healthcare provider as a scientist, okay, concerned with the facts and defines the patient as a condition or procedure and not as a person. A healthcare professional using engineering model tends to view the patient as a collection of body systems rather than as a whole person. Okay. So dito, sa engineering model, ang tingin ng healthcare professional sa pasyente ay condition. Yung mga tipong, si patient TB ganito or si patient pneumonia, yun. Ang tingin ay sakit. Okay? And not as a person. Engineering model. Okay. So under this model, a diagnostic imaging technologist considers the patient as a gastrointestinal or skull series, not an anxious human patient. So yun nga. Ang tingin lang ng healthcare professional dun sa pasyente ay isang particular disease or isang particular na procedure. Okay, so that is the engineering model. Next is the paternal or priestly model. So this casts the caregiver in the omniscient, paternalistic role of making decisions for patients rather than with patients. So siguro narinig nyo na to, yung paternalism. Paternalism, pater means father in Latin. Okay? So ibig sabihin, the healthcare provider acts as a father na kung ano sabihin ni healthcare provider, yun ang dapat gawin ng pasyente. Ibig sabihin, walang karapatan si pasyente na maging involved sa treatment, sa sarili niyang treatment. Kung ano yung napagdesisyonan ng healthcare ng healthcare professional, so yun yung gagawin na treatment. Okay? Kasi yun ang inaakala ng healthcare provider na mas mabuti at makakatulong sa pasyente. Okay? Wala namang ill will ang healthcare provider in this paternal model. Ibig lang sabihin na ang gusto lang ng healthcare worker ay gawin kung ano yung sa tingin niya ang mas makakabuti. Yun nga lang, nasasagasaan yung principle of autonomy, yung patient's right of autonomy. Okay? So yan. So example, an MRI technologist who powerfully urges a feeble 90-year-old man onto the table when the patient explains that he cannot make the move is exhibiting paternalism. So pinipilit nung MRI tech na kailangan yung pasyente ay lumipat agad doon sa table. Okay. Kahit na ang pasyente ay mahinang 90-year-old man. So, pinipilit, ina-exert niya yung kanyang authority as a father exerts his authority over his children. Okay? paternal or priestly model, or dito papasok yung paternalism. Okay? Then collegial model describes as a cooperative method of providing healthcare for the patient. Okay, so involves sharing trust and pursuit of common goals. So dito, mayroong cooperation yung healthcare worker sa pasyente. Involved ang pasyente sa mga treatment and care na binibigay sa kanya. Okay? So this model may be helpful in addressing patients' emotional needs and engaging their cooperation. Okay? So an imaging professional who takes time to get to know the patient and works with the patient to reach a mutual understanding is working under this model. Okay? So collegial model. So pag sinabing collegial, so may it is a body with common goals. Okay? So meaning there is cooperation to achieve common goals. Okay, next, contractual. Oh, from the word contractual, di ba, ano pa mapasok sa isip natin? Business. Defines healthcare as a business relationship between the provider and the patient. So a contractual arrangement serves as the guideline for decision making and provision of services. Okay? So example nito, yung may mga HMO. Kasi yung mga may HMO or healthcare, health maintenance organization or health insurance, so minsan limited lang yung kanilang mga services na pwedeng i-avail in certain healthcare institution. Okay. Like unlimited nga yung konsulta, pero when it comes to laboratories and diagnostic workup, hindi lahat na-approve ng HMO or ng health insurance. Let's say kapag ang sakit ay may kinalaman sa mga sexually transmitted infection, so hindi siya kino-cover ng health card. Okay, so that is an example of contractual model. Naka-base sa contract yung services na pwedeng i-provide sa pasyente. Okay? Then covenantal or covenant model. So, halos kaparehas siya ng contractual model. Yun nga lang, this is meron siyang much deeper meaning kasi covenant. When we say covenant, it is based on the two parties' trust. Okay? May trust. Okay? May involvement ng values. Okay? So therefore, dito ay both sides, the healthcare provider and the patient ay may tiwala sa isa't isa na ang endpoint ay yung best services or interest na pwedeng ma-provide dun sa pasyente. Okay? So yan yung covenant model or covenant model. Okay? So ito yung summary ng mga models. Okay? So again, all of these are aids or tools na pwedeng gamitin in solving the ethical dilemmas that will be encountered in the clinical setting. Okay? So having said that, in addition to your assignment na Code of Ethics, okay, idagdag natin itong assignment na ito. So, okay, pakikopya yung scenario. So, okay, babasahin ko. A female patient is scheduled for a lumbar spine imaging series. The imaging professional in charge of the examination is interrupted and called to the emergency room to care for victims of a massive accident. Another imaging professional arrives to take over the examination before the initial exposure is taken. When asked if everything is ready, the first technologist says yes and hurries to the emergency room. The second imaging technologist surveys the patient, who is covered with a sheet, introduces himself, and performs the lumbar spine series. The process images reveal that the woman is in her first trimester of pregnancy. Obviously, an injustice has been done, and a lawsuit may possibly follow. Okay. So, yung question nandun sa kabilang slide. Okay, so, kopyahin nyo muna. If nakopya nyo niya, please inform me para okay na. Okay, so I will move the slide to the next. So, discussion question. Was the injustice active? That is, did the first or second imaging professional deliberately not shield the patient and ask about possible pregnancy? Or was the injustice an unintentional error of omission resulting from the confusion caused by the first technologists leaving to attend the accident victims in the emergency room? Okay. So yan yung question. Okay? So this ends our discussion for today, and we will continue on Thursday, okay, for the Code of Professional Ethics and the answer to this imaging scenario. Okay?